Hello there, I'm Gavin House from gavinhouseinstructor.co.uk. Purpose of this video is to hopefully try and explain why you should go with me rather than somebody else. Honesty is the true answer to that one. A lot of people I get have come from previous driving instructors who are either not turning up, taking their money, just driving around, not teaching them anything. They don't feel they're getting anywhere. Sometimes that their driving instructor is deathly boring, is just sitting there either mucking about on his phone or not paying much attention. He's just basically letting you drive around. Personally, I think that driving lessons are far too expensive to waste time. Yes, you will find people who are cheaper, but you will find with me that every time that you're in the car, you will come back having learnt something. I am very capable of spotting when you've got a problem with your drive and then fixing it, simply. So I often find that I get students that come from previous driving instructors, but they don't leave me, or I find that I get people that come, they learn, they pass, they go again. They're all very, very happy. Have a look at my website. You will find that over 80% of people pass first time, and something, I think 98% of people pass within 2 attempts. Now, I don't know what you think, but personally I think that speaks volumes for the quality of the teaching that I supply. Have a look at the recommendations on my website. There are loads of people who have said, "Thank you, Gavin, you've changed my life." Well, no, that's probably going a bit too far, but you know what I mean. They're basically saying, "Hooray, now the doors have opened to me." I've had people who have been ex-convicts, for instance, who have tried to turn their lives around. They've now got a driving licence, they've now got a full-time job as courier drivers. I mean, it's just fantastic. What are you going to get in your lesson with me? Well, basically, all students, I keep this record sheet, and you've got to achieve certain things with in order to pass your driving test, basically. So that not only is it all your manoeuvres, but also the core skills about how to deal with roundabouts and junctions and how to approach properly, safety, thinking ahead, looking into the future, basically. And that's what driving's all about, is driving around, looking at the information around you, assessing what's going to happen shortly, and then making sure that you take evasive action if required, so that you're not in any danger. It's not just purely moving a car, you know. So, I mean, with me, on your very first lesson, you will be moving a car. I've heard horror stories of people after 6 hours, they still haven't moved the car. You will be driving on your very first lesson. From there, we will be building you up. You know, I can't make you do some sort of manoeuvres until you have got certain levels of skills. And so I will teach you those skills, and we will build up so that you will get better and better and better until basically you're a driving god. Okay. Now, I will prepare you for the driving test, but not only the driving test, but for general driving, okay? It's all too easy to stay in the actual driving test area, be that Reading, Farnborough, or the Guildford Test Centre, because I deal with all 3 areas. But I will take you into areas where you won't be tested on the driving test, but are quite tricky, and so you still need to know how to deal with them, you know? It used to be that people would do Pass Plus courses, and I do offer a Pass Plus course, but now I'm finding that insurance companies don't give the discount on the motor insurance so much, and so people generally don't do the Pass Plus course. Well, personally, I think the Pass Plus course is an excellent course, and it enables me to download my knowledge from 20 odd years of driving so that you don't have to make the mistakes that I did when I was growing up. However, because people don't do that anymore, I'm starting to incorporate that into my lessons so that you're picking up these nuggets as you're driving around, so that hopefully by the time you pass your driving test, you will be a competent driver who can go out there and tackle the world and not be afraid of the unknown. That's what you're getting with me. You're going to get a quality package, you're going to get your record card showing all the things that you have to achieve, so you can see that I'm not taking the mickey out of you. you will be scored between 1 and 5 for all of your lessons, and you can see making progress. If you don't agree with me, then you can speak up. You know, it's a great way of proving to your parents that you are doing a good quality course. You know, it keeps me accountable, it keeps you on your toes, and ultimately that's what you want, so that you are getting your value for your money, so that you will learn as fast as possible and pass that driving test first time, because why bother doing it twice, you know? You can also use me for your theory. You know, I've got my online hazard perception and theory practice. I can come around with my laptop, I can sit at your house, we can do that. You know, if you're struggling, sometimes people have got learning difficulties, and I will teach them how to go through and try and hold their hand to get them through this first test, because it can be quite daunting for some people. At the end of the day though, you will be taught at the speed at which you can absorb the information. I will be pushing you, obviously, because I need you to go outside of your comfort zone so that you progress, okay? But some people, they'll be, you know, they'll learn really, really quickly. And if they learn really quickly, then we can get them done and dusted within, well, not very many hours. I mean, I think the fastest I've had is probably about 4 or 5 hours. They were an existing moped driver, they'd been out on the road, they had all the core skills, they knew everything, all they needed to learn was the car control side of things. Bang, straight through, pass first time. Other people who have had no previous experience and potentially struggle with hand-eye coordination type roles, they will take longer, you know, especially people who are nervous or you know, don't want to say boo to a goose and are worried about standing out in case they do it wrong. You know, driving lessons are all about doing it wrong. It's just a matter of doing what you have to do loads and loads and loads of times until basically your brain does it and you don't have to think about it anymore. Once you get to that stage, you are laughing. Then all you've got to do is basically drive around paying attention to the roads, being nice and safe, and just sail through the driving test. And the driving test itself, oh my god, it's so easy. It's just like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. And you just go for a drive. The bloke says, turn left, turn right, follow that road sign. You do. And if you come back and you haven't scared him to death, then you get a driving licence. I mean, it really is that simple. He can't ask you to do anything that I can't ask you to do in the lessons. So I will be taking you to all the tricky bits on your certain routes that you may go on. I keep a list, GPS, all of the previous driving tests, so that we can take you back. And when a new one comes up, okay, well, hey, new driving test route today, let's go and have a look at it. Okay, because there isn't any set routes anymore because of the independent drive. That's about it. And I suppose I like my students to have a good laugh, you know? I mean, feel free to come into their car and take the mickey out of me if you feel obliged, because invariably I tend to take the mickey out of you when you make mistakes. Not in a malicious way, obviously, but I do like to have a laugh, and I hope that you have a laugh. Certainly I find that all of my students have a good laugh, and that's why they put their recommendations up, and that's why I get so many referrals from outside. Anyway, please have a look around my website. Give us a call. You've got contact details, email, telephone, you name it, all those sort of things. If you've got any questions, I don't really care if you're my student or not. If you've got any questions about any aspect of it, feel free to phone me on my mobile number and I'll quite happily chat away with you. Okay, hope that helps. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.